Hello, so good morning, everyone. So today again we are going to continue our series, and we'll be studying about another topic from our Unit 9 of the UGC NET-JRF syllabus, and this topic is measures of central tendency. So the first thing is what is the central tendency and how we are going to measure it. Okay, so suppose we are having a set of population, means we are having sample. Okay, so what will be the central value of that sample? So suppose the height of the student in your class is means between 160 centimeter to 180 centimeter, but what will be the average? So how will you be finding the average? You will summing up the height of all the student, and then you will be dividing that height, means sum of the height, by the number of students. That's how you will get an average, and that average will actually be representing your whole class. Okay, so that is the meaning of central tendency, and it is measured using different techniques, like we can use mean, we can use mode, we can use median, we can use some other things. Okay, also like weighted average, and also we are going to study about those in our upcoming slides. So the central value is basically something that describes the entire population, and we are having four measures to measure the central tendency. Okay, so mean is there, mode is there, median is there, and mid-range is there. Okay, so we are going to study them in the upcoming slides. So firstly, we'll be starting with the arithmetic average or the arithmetic mean. Okay, so it simply says that whenever we have to do the average or arithmetic mean, we just sum up all the observation. Okay, sum up all the observation, and then we divide that by the number of observation. That is the meaning of arithmetic mean, or that is the meaning of average. And this is the most common central tendency that we are going to use, or we have used till now. Okay, so let us move to another slide. So there is one thing. Okay, so this may have, means the mean may have different kind of symbols. So you need not to worry like what X bar is, what mu is. So whenever we have to calculate a mean, means a sample mean, means the mean for a sample only. Okay, then we will always and always use X bar. However, when we have to find out the mean for the whole population, we will use mu. So this is mu. Okay. So suppose this is a population of 1,000 individuals. Okay. So if we have to find out the mean for this, then we will be using mu. But if we will take out a sample out of it, okay, and we will find out the mean for this, we will be using X bar. So that's how we use the different symbols of mean. Okay. Now there is something called rounding off rule. So suppose you have given the observation in the form of, say, no decimal point. So here you can see that there is no decimal point. So how will you round off? Okay, so the rounding off is basically done, means the number of decimal is basically done in the form of, like, if this is 2, then the number of decimal here is, there is no decimal. Okay, so the answer should be in one decimal, means there is no decimal plus 1. If there had been one decimal, then you must have added 1 with that, and the answer must have been two decimal points. So that's how we are going to go. Okay, so suppose there is an example over here, and in this example, you can simply see that there are two numbers after the decimal. Okay, so how will you be getting your answer? So have a look at your array. Means have a look at your data. So that is not having any decimal. So zero. Okay, then zero number after decimal. Okay, so we'll be adding 1 to that, and that's how we'll be getting one decimal point. So your answer should have just one number after the decimal. Okay, so now there is another question, and it is simply like, how will we calculating the arithmetic mean? It's quite simple. You can perform it in your on your own. Okay, so we are having different kinds of means. Okay, and we are going to study about those. The one that we have studied just now is arithmetic mean, and in arithmetic means also, okay, so we have different kinds of problems. Okay, so suppose if we are given just the number, okay, so suppose Ram has got this, Sohan has got this. So these are individual observation. Okay, so in case of that, we can simply go for summing up for the all the observation divided by the number of observation. Okay, that's how we are going to perform. But in case we are not given individual observation, rather we are given a group of data. Okay, so suppose someone is getting 90 marks, means how many students got 90 marks are 3. How many got 95 are 4. How many got 92 are 5. Okay, so here you can see that it is a group of data. Okay, so 4 students got this, 3 students got. So this is not individual, rather a discrete series. So this is called what? Discrete series. Okay, and in case of continuous series, here we have seen that 90 marks, 92 marks. So these are discrete numbers. Rather, in case of this continuous series, we will say the marks between 80 to 90 are obtained by 5 students. The marks between 70 to 80 are obtained by 2 students. The marks between 60 to 70 are again obtained by 6 students, and that's how we are going to perform. So this is a continuous assessment, means the number is actually in between, the numbers lie in between two numbers. Okay, so this is called actually the class interval. The individual, this one is called class interval. Okay, so we are going to study this. Okay, so let's take an example of over here for the individual observation. So say the salaries are given here, and how will we identify the average? So we will basically add up all these, like 20,000 plus 25,000, okay, plus 30,000 plus 20,000, and since there are these are foreign numbers, so we'll divide that dividing that by 4. Okay, that's how we are going to perform that. In case of discrete series, I already told you that the marks means 20 marks, those will be obtained by multiple number of students. So how will we find out average in case of that? For that we have to find out average by using another formula, that is x bar is equal to summation of fx, okay, divided by number of observation. For that, we have to find out fx first, then only will we be able to find out the summation. So for finding out the fx, so f is actually the frequency, means the number of students, okay, and x is actually our data, means the marks. Okay, our observation. Okay, 20 marks. So fx comes out to 40, 120, 200, then 300, then it comes out to be 300. And when we will be adding up these, it comes out to be 960. Okay, and the average or the arithmetic mean will be 960 divided by this. That means 22. And that's how we are going to find out. Okay, now we will be moving to the continuous series, and I have previously told you that it comes in the form of class intervals. Okay, so in the case of class interval, we first have to find out the midpoint. Okay, so let me tell you like what the formula actually is. So whenever we have to find out the average, then what we have to do is we have to do the summation of midpoint value into the frequency. Okay, summation of this MF. Okay, and then we have to divide that by the number of observations. Okay, so here the midpoint will come out to be 65, then 75, 85, then 95, and then we'll be multiplying these, like it will come out to be 13,390 and so on. Okay, so that's how we are going to find out this. Okay, now we are moving to another mean. Okay, initially we studied about the arithmetic mean, and now we are going to study about the geometric mean, and thereafter we'll be studying about the harmonic mean. So the geometric mean and harmonic mean are not so important for us. I'm just telling you the formula in case that is asked. Okay, and if you are understanding the formula, then it is quite easier for us to find out the solution in case of individual series. I'm not going for the discrete series and another means the continuous series in case of the geometric mean, but you can find out that in case the need arises. Okay, however, the chances are quite minuscule. Okay, so here the formula comes out to be GM, means geometric mean is equal to x1 into x2 into x3 into so on xn. Okay, and power 1 by n. Okay, so n means the number of observation. Okay, another way by which we can write it is geometric mean is equal to the root, and this nth power comes here, and then we will go for x1 into x2 into x3 into so on xn. Okay, that's how we are going to perform. Okay, so let us take an example of a over here so that we will be able to find out how we have to calculate, because it may seem to be quite difficult to sum, but if we will be using example, then we will be able to show you like how easy these are. So suppose we are having three numbers set 2, 4 and 8. Okay, and we have to find out the geometric mean for that. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to firstly multiply all those numbers. Okay, in brackets. So 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 8, and then we have to take the 1 by n. N is the number of observation, 1 by 3. Okay, so 2 into 4 is equal to 8, 8 into 8 is equal to 64. 64 की power 1 by 3. Can we solve it again? Yes, we can solve it. Okay, so 64 comes out to be 4 into 4 into 4. Okay, so that is actually 4 to the power 3. And what is the actual power outside that? 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 into my 3 is equal to 1. So the value comes out to be 4. Okay, so that's how we are going to perform this. Now we'll be moving towards the harmonic mean. Okay, so the formula for harmonic mean is simply that we have to use. Okay, so whenever we have to find out the harmonic mean, we have to simply use the number of observation and divide that number of observation by the summation of the reciprocals of the observations. Okay, so 1 by x. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. Okay, so how we are going to do this? It may also look to be quite difficult to some. Okay, but we will take an example of over here, and then that's how we'll be showing here. Like it is also quite easy. Like okay, so n means the number of observations. Say the question again contains 248. These are the number of observation. Then the number of observation is equal to 3, and we have to divide that by 1. Okay, summation, we have to do summation. So what we will do is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8. That's how we have to perform. Okay, so we will take the 3 divided by summation. Okay, so what is this LCM? Like 8 comes out to be the LCM, so it will come out to be 4 into 2 plus 1, 4 to 6 plus 7, and 3 into 8 divided by 7, 24 by 7 comes out with the answer. It is somewhat related to 3 point something. Okay, so that's how we are going to solve these means. Okay, so if you're looking at the formula, they may seem to be quite difficult, but if you will try to understand them using the examples, then you will actually know that these are quite simple ones. Okay, so what we have got till now. Okay, so here we can see that it comes out to be 4. Okay, what geometric mean comes out to be 4. So for the same equation, for the same observation, say 2 for it, what if we find out the arithmetic mean? So arithmetic mean will be 2 plus 4 plus 8, that comes out to be 14 divided by 3, and it comes out to be 4 point something. Okay, so 4 point something. Okay, so 4.7 or 8, something like that. Okay, and when we found out the geometric mean for that, it came out to be 4. And when we found the harmonic mean, it came out to be 3 point something. So what we have got now said for same set of data, for same set of data. Okay, so if you will be finding out arithmetic mean, that will be highest or equal to the geometric mean, and that will be more than the harmonic mean. So that is a relation that is quite important for us. Okay, now we'll be discussing about the relationship. So I have already discussed that. So now we have moved to our second measure of central tendency, that is median. So median and mode are quite simpler ones rather than the mean. Though mean was also quite simple, however, we have distinguished that into different parts. That's why it took so much time. Okay, so even that was important. Okay, so when we have to find out median, so we have to first arrange a set of number into the increasing or decreasing order, and thereafter we have to select the middle value. Okay, let's take an example over here. So suppose we are having the data in the form of 2, 4, 4, 5, 8, 2, 1. Okay, so this is the data that we have here. So how will we find out the mean in case, so median in case of that? So we will arrange this into the increasing order first: 1, 2, 2, then 4, then 4, then 5, and then 8. Okay, so which is the middle number? So 4 is the middle number, and it is therefore median. Okay, so can you see this? How easy this is? Okay, well, this is quite easy. One thing is because we are having odd number of observation, 3 plus 3 plus 1, that's 7 observation, that is odd number of observation. What if we have means another observation over here? Okay, so suppose we are having 9 also, so what 9 will be arranged here, and now we'll be having even number of observations. So what we will be doing, so 3 left, 3 left, so these are the two middle numbers, so we'll be taking an average of that. 4 plus 4, 2, divided by 2, that comes out to be 4. So 4 will be the median again. Okay, so we can simply see how we have to find out the median. So let us solve some example. Okay, so this is basically for the odd number, and this is for the even number. So you can find out these on your own. Now we'll be moving towards the mode. Okay, mode is actually the number that comes maximum times, or the number that is repeated the most. The number repeated most. Okay, so suppose in your class, most of the students have got 85 marks. Okay, so the mode or the central tendency for your class will be what? 85. Okay, so let us take an example of over here. So the marks that student got is 80, 85, 85, 80, 22, 85. So what will be the mode? So you can see that which is repeated the most. 85, 85, and 85. 85 is repeated three times. Okay, so what is mode here? 85. So this is quite simple. Okay, so what you have to do is that whenever you have to find out the mode, what you can do is simply see what number is repeated the most, and that will be your mode. Okay, sometimes it may happen that there is no number that is repeated. So in case there will be no mode. And in some case, there may be two or three numbers that may have been repeated equal times. Okay, so suppose 85 is repeated thrice, and say we add one more observation, that is 80. So 85 will also be the mode, and 80 will also be the mode. So that's how we are going to find out. Okay, so this is a question for you, and you can find out. It is quite easy. Okay, so these are the questions. Okay, so now we are moving to our fourth measure of central tendency, that is mid-range. Okay, so mid-range is something that relates to the range. And what is a range? A range is something that we are going to study in our next lecture. That means the measures of dispersion. Okay, so we will be studying about the range in that. So what is the range? Means we have to see two extreme values. So suppose we are given a set of data, and the lowest number, okay, lowest number is say 30, and the highest number is say 60. So okay, so these are the two extreme values, 30 and 60. So the range will be 60 minus 30, that is equal to 30. So the range is 30. Okay, so that's how we have to find out the range. And whenever we have to find out the mid range, we just need to divide the range by 2. And the 30 divided by 2, it comes out to be 15. So 15 is the mid range. Okay, so means you have to sum up both the values, the lowest value and the highest value, and then you have to divide that by 2. Okay, so that's how we are going to find out the mid-range. So I guess this is done up to now. And now we will be studying about the relationship between the mean, mode, and median. Okay, so this is quite an easier one. Okay, so you just need to remember it. Like mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. And this is asked multiple times. But what they do in exam basically is they twist it somewhat. Like if mode is there, what they can do is they can take 3 as common, and the remaining will be 3 median minus 2 by 3 mean. Okay, so they can write this in this form, or what they can do again is 1 by 3 mod is equal to median minus 2 by 3 mean. Or similarly, they can twist it in any way. Means they can take the left hand side to right hand side. They can do multiple changes in that. Okay, so that's how they are going to play with this formula. Mod is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. Okay, now we are moving up to the another topic, that is weighted average, and it is also a measure of central tendency. However, this is the one that is used in case of the currencies or in case of finding out the indices. Okay, so for example, if you are finding out the indices like weighted arithmetic mean method for calculating the water quality index, W water quality index, so you may have to give weight to certain measures. Okay, so weight is something, means weight simply means the importance. So if you are giving certain amount of importance to some of the parameters, so that is actually called weighted average, and then we will find out. Okay, so suppose we are having, okay, so we are having mercury over here, we are having lead over here, so lead is shown by Pb, then we are having aluminium, then we are having nitrate. Okay, and in our water, so we found out that The mercury is the one that is playing the most significant role, so we will be providing it with the maximum value, and then lead is the second one, so zero point 0.2, then zero point 0.1, then zero point 0.1, and that's how another one will also be given. That's how we are giving different weights to weights to these values. So how will you find out the weighted average? Okay, so what we will do is simply the weights, these weights will be divided by their values, and the values means the observation x. It comes out to be 2, it comes out to be 3, it comes out to be 1, it comes out to be 2, it comes out to be 2 in milligram per liter. Okay, so what we will do is we will be multiplying the weights first. Okay, means if you have to find out the weighted average, then we will be to find out W, and W, this is W, and W will be multiplied by X. So we will be taking average of, sorry, summation of WS, and then we will be dividing that by W, the weight equal to 1. Okay, so that's how we will be finding out the weighted average. I guess this is clear to you. So this is all what I told you now. Okay, so that's how, this is the formula. That's how you are going to perform all these things. And here is the question that could help you again. Okay, like finding out the weighted average. So suppose you scored 83 marks in your midterm, in the final exam you scored 95 marks. So the weightage of, means the importance given to your midterm is 40%, and the importance given to your final term is 60%. So how will you find out? So weightage is 40% here, zero point 0.4, and here what, zero point 0.6. So these are the marks obtained in final SAM, and these are the marks obtained in mid SAM. Okay, so that's how you are going to perform, and this is actually the weight, total weight. Okay, so this comes out to be 90.2, and hooray, you are scored A. And now we will be studying about the measures of dispersion in our next class. So I guess you guys must have understood something. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, and in case you face any problems, then just let me know. Thank you very much.